Hello, all you Motherland, Salem fans and superfans out there. For this video, I thought, with the new season of Motherland, Salem on the way, I thought I'd discuss about the good and evil alignments among the characters. I remember coming across a comment on a video on Motherland, Salem saying none of the characters are purely good or purely evil. Personally, I find it hard to believe. One character I feel comfortable establishing as pure evil is Albin Hurst, the leader of the Camarilla. In his debut episode, he may have lured Abigail into a parking garage and attempted to slit her throat before being stopped by Tally and M. But what I've noticed that makes him truly atrocious is when he and his Camarilla cohorts kidnap Raelle and subject her to a myriad of cruel experiments. In the second season finale, he and his Camarilla cohorts bring on an attack on Fort Salem using the vice president's daughter as a source of witch plague to kill witches. A few things I can point out about pure evil villains are they have to have a well-defined moral agency, as they know the difference between right and wrong, but choose to what's wrong and stay evil. Have no redeeming qualities whatsoever. One characteristic is they can never feel love for others, crass as it is, and they have to remain the worst. For the moral agency part, where Albin subjects Raelle to a myriad of cruel experiments, one of them involved a giant boulder made for crushing. He even goes as far as establishing that it's one of his favorite methods on killing witches. Not to mention that he eventually subjects her to witch plague and leaves her to suffer, if not die. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's with his xenophobia and bigotry amongst witches, he'd be willing, he wants to kill Raelle no matter how many times it would take. Raelle likely would have died if her mom didn't sacrifice herself. For the no redeeming qualities, aside from love, some other redeeming qualities involve being affable, having remorse, having sympathy, to name a few. In the episode Irrevocable, the Camarilla tries to cut Raelle's throat, only to have her mycelium powers suffocate them. Albin watches them on the other side of the window and only responds to this as irrevocable. From where I've noticed, he doesn't show any emotion when his Camarilla cohorts collapse, nor does he check on them to see if they're all right. In the season 2 finale, when it was revealed that he was disguised as a TV reporter and injected the vice president's daughter with a witch plague, he seems to disregard the fact that the woman was no ordinary witch, but the vice president's daughter. And as for the worst, I remember coming across a comment on Twitter saying they've never hated anyone more than Albin Hurst on the show. When you think that pure evil is something else, prepare for pure good. To start this off, pure good heroes are the opposite of pure evil villains. For moral agency, the pure good, they must know the difference between right and wrong, but choose what's right and stay good. While pure evil villains have no redeeming qualities, pure good heroes have no corrupting qualities, and these include unpleasant or being unpleasant or forgiving in any way, doing horrible deeds with no remorse, for a few examples, and those heroes have to be the best. One character in the show that in my opinion is pure good is Tally Craven. When you think about it, she's a kind, cheerful woman, who joins the military to make the world a better place. And of course, it makes her a noble, compared to other characters on the show. I mean, of course, those of you who know anyone anyone in any branch of the military can also tell you that they've also joined to make the world a better place. I mean. But those of you who would think otherwise of her, let me tell you a few things about Tally Craven that may contradict her on being pure good, but I end up finding out otherwise. One instance involves her desperation of wanting a romantic relationship with Garrett. I mean, when it falls apart in the 5th episode of the 1st season, she's seen crying in the bathroom and inadvertently spies on Scylla, conversing with the Spree and delivering Raelle to them. I mean, terrified as she was, she reports this to Anacostia, but like when she starts having qualms about it, Anacostia tells her not to say anything. But Tally reveals that she wanted to tell Rael about it. I mean, people may suggest that she did it just because her relationship with Garrett fell apart. I mean, I once made that theory myself in a comment section on a Motherland Fort Salem video. I mean, like it, she basically was doing it to protect Rael in some way, and had nothing to do with her soured relationship with Garrett. Another instance of involves how she gets along with her unit. In the very first episode, she gets along with her unit just fine despite Rael and Abigail's constant bickering. And in fact, Tally reprimands the latter for trying to ditch her unit. She also sympathizes with Rael about the loss of her mother when Abigail won't. Um, Even though she may argue with her unit, especially what happened in season 2, episode 8, when her unit was under Nicta's influence, the head of the spree, of course. Um, given to how she wants she feels comfortable about calling her unit her sisters, and how she wants them around, it proves that she never truly turns her back on her unit. Another instance involves her relationship with Sarah Alder. In the first season finale, she gives up her youth to save Alder's life. In the second season opener, Alder tries to talk to Tally and reverting her to her youthful self, but initially she declined, but reconsiders when she finds out her unit is alive. Of course, when Tally becomes familiar with the head of the spree, she confronts Alder about her lies and how she tried to erase Nicta from existence. I mean, that it may seem like a corrupting quality, but to be very clear, she cares about other people and is willing to get truth and justice, even if it means exposing Alder later in the season. And last but not least, of how she encounters Nicta Patan. From where we see Tally muzzles Nicta. But the strange thing is, it wasn't all what it appears to be. I mean, after Alder's speech, Tally tries to attack her, but it was revealed that Nicta was disguised as Tally, and Tally was therefore disguised as Nicta, and ended up getting muzzled. I mean, through all of this, when she was muzzled and they had the muzzle got off of her, she was completely emotional and therefore had no such idea that Nicta was going to set her up as a faux girl. For other certain characters, I can't help but describe them as morally ambiguous. Prominent examples of this are Scylla Ramshorn, Willa Collar, General Sarah Alder, and Nicta Patan. For Scylla Ramshorn, when I first became familiar with Motherland Fort Salem and her affiliation with the spree, I never wanted to believe that she was a villain. I mean, I did believe when she said that she was in love with Rael, but little did I realize that she was once Scylla's mark before falling in love with her. For the first season, we end up finding out that she was responsible for 1,600 deaths among civilians, as well as the suicide of her ex-boyfriend. However, when Scylla fell in love with Rael, she started to redeem herself. This is further evident when she saves a little girl and Rael from the Camarilla in season 2, with help from some allies. For Willa Collar, Rael initially believed that she was killed by the spree, but in reality she survived and joined the spree, and had Scylla seduced her to recruit her to the spree. I mean, and get this, neither of them were were any wiser of it. Initially, I had a thought that Willa, as well as the spree as a whole, wanted Rael to be part of the spree instead of the army when I first saw the first season finale. However, Willa reveals a much greater threat to Scylla in the second season opener, which is the Camarilla. Of course, a person that both Willa and Scylla have in common is Rael, whom they both love very much. Like how Scylla's love for Rael redeemed her, Willa redeems herself by sacrificing herself to save Rael from the Camarilla. For Sarah Alder, she is unmistakably the oldest living general amongst witches. However, it may come at a greater cost than than young witches becoming her biddies. Why I say that is, when I became familiar with Motherland Fort Salem, I noticed behaviors in Alder that weren't exactly worthy of leading a military, such as um, learning a trim song, making plants wilt, um, killing innocent people and lying about it, puppeting the president, initially denying the Camarilla's return, coercing the president to sign documents involving testing centers, as well, and using other careless methods to stop the Camarilla. For weeks, I would ask my dad, "Is Alder an evildoer?" He get this. He does always tell me yes, but he also tells me that everything that Alder does is for her own selfish purposes. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong with my aforementioned statement, but would selfless people do everything to remain in power? Because in the 9th episode of the first season, we see Alder puppeting the president just to keep her job as general. That was only the tip of the iceberg. It gets worse in the second season. One of them involved Alder lying to Tally about Nicta, as well as erasing the existence of her. But the thing is, it basically happened because Alder betrayed Nicta Batan, who ended up creating the spree, in the first place. Interestingly enough, Alder recruits witches to fight the spree, which she is ironically responsible for creating and having a connection with. In the episode "Mother of All, Mother of None," Alder is forced to step down when Tally reveals the true motives of Nicta Batan. Of course, as for Nicta Batan, many of you may think she's atrocious like Alban Hurst, but the majority of her actions are justifiable. While she may manipulate others to hurt or kill each other, through mind-controlled arguments, physical beatdowns, and phantasmagoria, she's basically interested in the truth, which is why she was so close to Tally in the first place. Not to mention that the reason why she turned on Alder is because of her and created the spree as well. It was because she was betrayed by the general. I mean, given her tragic past, coupled with her trying to find the truth, being scornfully thanked and sarcastically thanked by Alban Hurst, while taking his points into consideration and taking no pride in it whatsoever, proves Nicta is redeemable. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, press the thumbs up button and subscribe for more videos. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave in the comment section, and I'll catch y'all in my next video.